So today what we're going to be doing is a little recap on Monday, but because I'm so busy today, I'm actually going to be giving you a market recap on the go. I've got quite a lot to get done today, going off to gym now, going to finish off a few other things, got some meetings to do, but just starting off on my way to gym. Have a look at this. That is what you call one hell of an amazing view. It is such a beautiful day out right now. Really, really beautiful, but got to get some stuff done now. Just wanted to say sorry so much for having such terrible sound, but what happened was some unfortunate little being, namely my dog, decided to have a very, very fun time with the last sound recorder that I had, and decided that he was going to eat it. So I've ordered a new sound recorder, but this one's coming in from Germany. So unfortunately, we're gonna have to deal with some bad sound for the meantime. But the sound is coming soon, so we don't have to worry too much about that. And then at least you're gonna be able to hear me fine. Okay, so right now we are set up, getting ready to go. I've got my tripod over here that's got me set up, so hands-free. Got my iPad as well, just so I can go through some sort of pieces that I was going to talk to you about. So basically what we're going to try and cover in this video is more specifically some aspects looking into exactly what we're doing on a monthly basis to make sure that not only for myself is all of my investments growing as well, so not just from my investments, my trading portfolio, my companies as well. So if some of you know or may not know in this video, the company that I've put most of my focus into is MS Equities Trading, which is a trading and investment company. And basically the main outlook of the company is to turn into a fully fledged hedge fund investment management firm, and basically put major focus into running the company as a sort of full-on household investment name. But the main thing that we're focusing on with the company is to run the academy. And the academy is, okay, just give me a second, we have got a there's someone coming down the road, so I just have to just waiting for them now. See, this is why I've been thinking of actually getting a Land Rover, because I really want to get a 4x4. The car I have is an Audi and it's flipping low, and it keeps scraping against everything. I keep bumping it on when I'm going on farm roads, and if anyone knows of what South African roads are like, it's not very fun driving a low car on these roads. So thinking of joining the Land Rover group. But anyway, so basically with the academy, what we're focusing on is I work with quite a great deal of sort of top level students that are learning about trading and investment and wealth management, effectively what I've taught myself and what I do on a daily basis. And on top of that, a lot of them work with me consulting, and they actually have a few students that are now working with me as traders, analysts, also working in my ambassadors program. It's just to give you a market recap of exactly how things have been going in May. So for all of you that know about the way the industry has been going for trading and investing, this month has not been a very easy month for a lot of traders, investors, and people that are out there trying to sort of make a return on investment on their accounts. I do work with a few professional companies, investment bankers, hedge funds. I also have a lot of connections there, and quite a few of them had down months in May. Also very low figure months. Right now they're sort of outputting mainly because it's a 6 month sort of time right now. So we've already gone through 6 months of the year. They're already seeing that their outlook for the 12 months is going to be in the low figures of anything between 6% to 12-13% return on investment. And these are for some of these sort of top level investment funds. These are with like the big traders that I'm working with, and they're sort of seeing that they're going to return pretty much the sort of low single figure returns on their clients' accounts, which is quite scary. But right now, what we've done with the Academy right now, my main trading portfolio is up about 32% on the year. So I'm really happy with that. Look, the main reason why my portfolio is going very well is because I have put quite a lot of my portfolio into trading oil. I have moved some pretty risky trades, some pretty big trades as well. And I don't hedge my trading as much as the professional institutes do. So the professional institutes do hedge their positions a huge amount, more specifically because they sort of going against their policies, and they have to abide by certain principles that they have signed in contract with their clients. For myself, my personal portfolio, I'm able to move it as I want, when I want, and be able to take the risks as I please. So as for the double account project, I know a lot of you have been probably following along with the double account project. If you want to find out what it's about, there is a video in the library that you can have a look at. But basically what we're doing is I'm using a fully audited process to show you exactly how I'm going to land up turning $250 into a $10,000 return. So basically seeing how many times I can double that account until it gets to $10,000. And I'm showing you exactly what principles I'm using, how I'm trading, what I'm trading, and basically all of you and my students are able to follow along with all of this content and learn exactly how I'm able to make money consistently. Which the main reason why I'm doing it is not firstly to discredit the fact that you can't use proper risk management principles, but there's quite a lot of other things that I'm using in the video to help prove exactly how you need to do it properly. And especially the big effect that it has on your mental psychology. But in that trading portfolio, I had a drawdown on oil trade up to 5% on the portfolio. I managed to dig myself out of it very quickly. The oil trade that I had on was because of the OPEC news release. The news release went completely against what the market incentive was. A lot of people lost money. I lost money. Quite a few of my trading colleagues lost money. So it was quite well seen. It was sort of like a bit of a black swan event. We didn't expect it to happen. But basically what happened was we lost some money. I made my way out of it, and to the end of the month of May, I was only at a drawdown of 0.52%. I've already made myself out of that drawdown. I'm already up to 1.92% return on investment for June. So yesterday, last night, I capitalized on some trades on the Japanese market. I traded the pound Japanese yen. What had happened was the Japanese market had recovered a huge amount coming into last week, and I managed to see it sort of take a little bit of a rebreather, a retracement, and I capitalized on that retracement in the currencies market. So I managed to make quite a bit of money on the trading portfolio, which has at least put me back into the green. So this month, basically, I'm just going to have a look at going back into the market, seeing what I can do, seeing how I can make some money. So we've covered what is happening in the industry, firstly, which is not going very well, very competitive right now, very dog-eat-dog. The big one is the news that came out in May. It was a very difficult month worth of trading. We had the Macron elections, we have Donald Trump that's pretty much using his power to push massive business deals marketplace. The bigger ones that we had was the terrorist attacks in Manchester, and very sadly the terrorist attacks on London Bridge as well, which my heart really goes out to London on that. But speaking from a financial perspective, it's created a massive amount of volatility in the markets. Things are trading against what they should be doing. Fundamentals are coming out looking a bit weird, technicals as well. On top of that, the biggest one that we also had a look into is to do with trading on the South African markets as well. The South African market strengthened a huge amount amidst the downgrade on the JSE portfolios, and downgraded by two different financial institutes. But more specifically, the main one that we had, which was a huge concern to us, was more specifically the OPEC releases, OPEC extended oil cuts, oil production cuts, and on top of that, they managed to manipulate a deal coming out on buying up a whole lot of Syrian oil reserves illegally, and they have been trying to dilute that back into the market, which has been causing a lot of volatility in the prices. So it has been quite a tough month worth of trading, and especially with the news coming out, it hasn't been the easiest in the world. So more specifically, what do I have to say about my company investments as well? So for this month, what I have done is on my investment portfolio, I have actually engaged with a new company that I'll be investing in. So I'll be coming in and basically growing their business, growing all the portfolios, financing them, working with them very closely on sort of market capitalization and a whole lot of businessy stuff. So what my main portfolio is, I do manage business investments, and I invest with 4 different companies separately, and this will be the 5th company that I'm going into. But also a main thing that I've been working on is with my academy, with all of my students. So the students have been doing incredibly well. But what we'll be doing is coming back just now and I'll finish up the recap on everything I've been talking about. So we are finally back from a training session. Had quite a lot of time to think about a few questions that I was going to cover. So basically some of the things I'm just covering here is what I put in my monthly reports for my business development portfolios. So basically all my portfolios, I monitor them and work with them to make sure that the company is always growing and stuff. But a big one that I've been looking into is my students' performance and how my students are doing. So obviously a big thing that people in the industry don't talk about is how their company is performing, because obviously it's their main sort of bread and butter, it's their income earner. It's what they make most of their money off of. So they're not going to tell you, well, oh, their company's not doing too well, or they think they can improve, or stuff like that. You always hear that you need to be bulletproof, you need to be perfect. But as you know, in the industry, nothing is perfect. And companies always go through their times of ups and downs and stuff. But so far, basically, what's been happening with the students is I have had a few students that have needed to take time off. They've been very busy with stuff that they're working on. A lot of them have personal jobs or are studying. So right now, a lot of the universities in South Africa are writing, oh great, you can just turn in front of me. Don't you just love how people abide by the law? Crazy. But basically, some of the students are writing exams right now, so they're quite busy. But I do have a few students that are doing very well right now. Some of them are actually doing better than I am. So just to give you a spectrum of the students, I have some that start off from novice going through to professional, and even just intermediary traders that are just sort of trading their own savings up and stuff like that. So something I've been working on very closely with is to make sure the students at least stay consistent with their progress. So a big part of the progress that we've been focusing on is to see that they're going through finishing all of their tests, their assessments, mentorships, and the students are doing very well with that. In terms of trading, like I said to you, it has been a very tough month worth of trading. So I did warn a lot of my students to not trade too much. My own traders that manage my portfolios, they didn't trade too much either. So we've also been keeping a close eye on how the portfolios have been doing. So in terms of that, mainly in these types of months, I focus on coming out with new content with them, doing a lot of mentorship. Nissan GTR, the red one. Quite a nice looking car. They've been doing very well, but obviously it is early days for some of them, and a few of them are also taking some time off from their portfolios. But some of the students do relatively well. They can make anywhere from a few $100s a month to a few $1,000s a month. Not all of my students do that, and not all of my students actually are successful. But the main part that I do with them is put a lot of time into my private coaching and my mentorships with them to make sure that we're constantly Skyping each other. I share all of my trading plans with them, so all of the markets that I'm capitalizing on every week, they can see what I'm actually making money off of. And also all my portfolios are open to the public to see, so people can actually physically see what I'm trading, when I'm trading it, all those sorts of things. So I can't exactly, lie about what I'm making money off of. Further to that, the biggest one is obviously what's happening this month and what's going to be happening in the future. So in May, what we did is launched an online learner management system, and this platform is almost like a university grade online learner profile where all of my students can access on a daily basis and study everything online. So everything is from videos to assessments, set exercises, workshops, things like that. I'm able to connect with them constantly, send them new information, send them details. And it's been amazing because the online academy has allowed us to connect with students from around the world. So now some of my students, some of my colleagues as well, that have asked me to train them from around the world. Previously I said I couldn't because I trained them one-on-one, face-to-face. But now the academy has allowed me to accept students from Saudi Arabia, accept from students in the UK, parts of Europe as well. I have a student over in Russia that I'm also training, which is proving quite interesting with the different time zones, but still very fun to train them. So it's also allowed me to accept students from all over the world, which is great to have. But further to that, the big one that I wanted to use this video to do is to basically just show you what we're doing in the academy on a daily basis, on a weekly basis, what's the progress, how things are going. Because the thing is that also for myself as a trader coming up, I was very much in the dark, and I didn't really have a helping hand when I was sort of going through my day-to-day sort of studying, hitting setbacks, worrying about stuff. There was really no support system that I was able to access with people that were actually honest and straightforward, and would physically tell me about how their portfolios are doing. So for me to be able to share this information with you, tell you what's happening in the market, not from like a financial analyst point of view, but from my own personal point of view. And I'll get to that just now. But tell you what's happening in the market, how the institutes are doing, how the hedge funds are doing, because then at least you get to know, if you had a down month, it's the whole industry had a down month in May as an example. And if you're running into issues with regards to you're not sure what's going wrong with your trade, stuff like that, at least you can follow along with some of my trading plans, some of the trades that I execute, and you can always capitalize on them and make money off of them. Also on top of it, if you're looking for a team to study from, company to learn from, we're always looking for more students to work with. We do have quite strict policies of who we accept, who we don't accept. So you do have to go through a bit of an interview process with us, because we're not going to accept just every single student into our academy if they're not going to do well. So as long as you meet the requirements, as long as you are very motivated and getting ready to trade, and you do have a bit of experience in either the financial markets or analyzing stuff, or you've got a good degree background, we're always wanting to try and speak with you, accept you into the academy. But on top of that, we're going to be doing this on a monthly basis, and we're going to get the camera stuff sorted out, new microphones, new video cameras coming out soon. It's just unfortunately the previous microphone we had broke, so got a new one ordered in right now. So content's going to be looking a lot better. I'm opening up a design group as well that's going to be handling all of my designs, all of the graphics media, so things are going to be looking much better very soon. But then on top of that, what I'm going to be doing is trying to focus on uploading not just content to all of my students, which they'll be watching, but also uploading content to YouTube and the rest of my social media pages. So you can follow along and I can help you out without charging you any money. But just going back to that last point that I made, where the things I talk about is not like from a financial analyst perspective. It's not from a perspective of some big financial professional. I'm not some CFA or some super certified professional trader. I'm just a trader and an investor. I invest in a lot of companies, I manage my portfolios, and I've been able to do it very well. And what I'm doing is giving you a human-to-human interaction where I can show you how I do it, what I do, and so far with my students it's gone well, and I hope to keep on replicating this with every single one of my students. But at no point in time am I going to give you some professional view of the market. I'm never going to give you financial advice, investment advice, tell you how to trade, what to trade, or when to trade. All I'm going to do is show you what I'm doing on a daily basis and how you will be able to follow along and make money for yourself as well. So please take this as just my sort of personal advice. And once again, hope you have a really good month in June of trading and investing. Make sure to keep an eye on this channel because we're going to be uploading some new plans of what I'm looking at trading and investing for the rest of June and going into the rest of this week as well. So make sure to keep in touch. If you want to get in contact with me directly, I'll make sure to leave my contact details below. More than happy to work with you, give you some time, get on Skype with you, just answer any questions you have. But once again, thanks so much for tuning into this video, and I'll make sure to see you in the next one. Cheers for now, guys.